What's going on, everyone? Today we're going over the top 10 underdog saves within England. And what I mean by underdog saves is that none of the clubs in the top 10 here have been to the Premier League, or as at least with it being called the Premier League. So all 10 of these clubs are from the Sky Bet Championship down to Sky Bet League 2. Very, very interesting saves. You can even give some of these a go in the beta if you wish to, and carry it over into the main game. But these saves are kind of long-term type saves. So these are going to be a lot of fun, very interesting. There's a lot of history behind these clubs as well. So if you guys happen to enjoy today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit that sub button? Also, down in the description, FMBase have got a discount code for 29% off through Fanatical. So make sure to check that out because it helps out the channel. It also helps you guys save money getting 29% off your pre-order for FM23, which gets you access to the beta 2 weeks early, which is awesome. So definitely make sure to check that out. Without further ado, let's get into the first club. So the first club we're going to be talking about today, they're the Imps of Lincoln City. Now, the Imps, who are also Mr. Tom FM's club, as he commentates for them, are a very interesting club in that they have been around, founded in 1884, yet have never been to the Premier League. They have done pretty well in recent years, just finishing 5th and going to the playoffs, but unfortunately, they were not able to be promoted up to the Sky Bet Championship, which would have been huge for this club. They played a almost 10,500 seat stadium. It's a little bit over that at 10.6, but it is a very, very fun club to do. They're not going to have a whole heck of a lot of money down in Sky Bet League 1, but you will have a very, very solid team to start off with right off the rip come FM23. Coming up next, we've got the U's of Colchester United. Now, Colchester United are a newer club compared to Lincoln City, but still founded almost 100 years ago in 1937. They are a very interesting club once again, being that they were able to land Mr. Matty Longstaff. So he will be a big-time player for you early on in this save. Unfortunately, they don't have any transfer budget. Will probably change once FM23 is officially out, but be prepared to look for loans or free signings to kind of improve the squad off the rip. Now, they were threatened with relegation by finishing in 20th this previous season. So definitely keep that in mind that this team will need some improvement, but they are a club that under your tutelage can definitely be on the rise sooner rather than later. Coming in at number 8, we've got the Stanleys of Accrington Stanley. Now, Accrington Stanley are, once again, a newer club. They were formed in 1968, but they haven't really been, an established football league club. They just got up in, what year is that? 05-06, they were promoted from the Vanarama National, and they have consistently been on the rise. It's not okay, we're up, down, up, down, up, down. It's just consistent, going up. They are a very consistent club. They don't have insane players, but they do have great stability, which is always nice to have. Now, they do have a player by the name of Joe Pritchard, who's very, very versatile. He can play on either wing, all the way down to being a wingback. He can also play through central midfield as well, or center attacking mid. So having a versatile player at this level that is your key player is going to be very important. They play at a small stadium, which only holds about 5,000 people, but you can definitely improve upon that to bring in more revenue in the future. They most likely will be a team that won't have a transfer revenue for you to have for at least the first season, maybe 2 seasons, to where it's kind of like Colchester. You're going to have to rely on free signings and loans to really improve your chances of going up a level, which they're in the Sky Bet League 1. So you get promoted, you're in the Sky Bet Championship, and you will have much more money at your disposal. Next up, we've got the Mariners of Grimsby Town. So Grimsby Town are in a very unique situation. They were founded in 1878, play at almost a 10,000-seater stadium, but they finished 24th in Sky Bet League 2 this previous season, going into FM23, which is dead last in Sky Bet League 2. But Southend United and Scunthorpe both went down due to financial reasons. Actually, I think Southend went down because they finished in 23rd, but Scunthorpe went down due to financial reasons, so Grimsby Town got to stay up. They aren't going to have anyone insane on the team. You are going to have to build them up quite a bit. They might have a transfer budget in place for you to spend, but in my opinion, you should probably put that into the wage budget, try and bring in some free signings, maybe some loan players to really help the team get going. Potentially even, push for a playoff spot off the rip if you're able to bring in the right people. Sell off the deadwood, if you will, to bring in some more money for you to really shape what could be a pretty solid side given it is under the right manager, which you, of course, will be the right manager. So this next club has an interesting nickname. Over here in the US, it is probably pronounced the Gas, but over there, it's probably pronounced the Guys. So coming up next, we've got Bristol Rovers. So Bristol Rovers are another club that find themselves in an interesting situation. They finished 24th, which should have seen them relegated, but they were not. They were able to stay up due to situations that arose elsewhere with other clubs. They are most likely going to have a transfer budget in place for you to spend, but once again, put that in the free signings, put that in the loans. Maybe bring in some youngsters to really help push this team to that next level, which that next level would be the Sky Bet Championship, which is where their local rivals Bristol City play. If you can get Bristol Rovers to the same level as Bristol City, the fans, which being that there are now fan profiles, they would absolutely love that within the game. So if you can do that, or maybe even do one better, get them to the Premier League, they would absolutely love and adore you at this club within FM23. So your goal, get Bristol Rovers above Bristol City, and I would say that's a job well done. But if you can potentially win a couple cups, win a Premier League title, or even get them to a Champions League final, that would be absolutely insane, and you would be a club legend with Bristol Rovers. Next up, we've got the Pilgrims of Plymouth Argyle. Now, Plymouth Argyle are a club that have been up and down in the leagues in recent years due to sometimes financial reasons, sometimes just not having the quality that, is needed to be at a Sky Bet Championship level or even potentially a Premier League level, which is where this great club strives to be at because they have some diehard fans. They play in an 18.6 thousand seater stadium. They definitely deserve success on some level to come their way. They have a very good young player in Bali Mumba who is going to be very important early on for you. Now, speaking of young talent, they're not going to have the biggest transfer budget, so I would invest that into free signings and loans. And with free signings, maybe aim for those younger type players because you bring in players on frees, you can always make nothing but a profit on them. But if you get the right youngster in, you can have it change the financial situation of your club entirely. So definitely keep that in mind when doing a save with Plymouth Argyle because they are definitely a club that can for sure go to the very top. Next up, we've got the Stags of Mansfield Town. Now, at Mansfield Town, they are a very solid, well-rounded club, whether it be financially or player quality-wise. They play at, in my opinion, a beautiful 9.3 thousand seater stadium. It is very nice. Even though it is a smaller one, it is very nice. They have a very well-rounded team. They definitely do need you to come in and bring in a little bit of star power, not necessarily, bringing in absolute superstars, but bring in those players that'll help take them to that next level being Sky Bet League One, because they have been kind of a mid-table type team. A couple years ago, they did make playoffs, but unfortunately, it was not to be for them. So your goal, definitely try and get playoffs or even automatic promotion by potentially winning the league. That would definitely make the fans absolutely ecstatic. So Mansfield Town, another club that under your tutelage can go to the very top. Next up, we've got the Sugar Daddy Ammies of Salford City. So with one of the owners being Mr. Gary Neville, this club definitely has a financial backing to make sure that with whatever they could possibly need, it will be done. Now, they have really risen quite consistently over the years. As you can see with the league history above me, they have really been consistent. Now, they find themselves as kind of a mid-table type, maybe playoff making team within Sky Bet League 2, but under your tutelage, you bring in a couple players, they could definitely win the league. Without a doubt in my mind, I think that they could win the league. If you bring in a couple players and you play the right system with this team, once they're in Sky Bet League 1, probably could do the exact same thing. So, honestly, this is probably the one team from these lower levels of Sky Bet League 1 and Sky Bet League 2 that could see themselves in the Sky Bet Championship the soonest, especially under your tutelage, because you will have the financial backing. There will be the football smarts at the club as well. Just make sure that the board is not expecting too much of you. Next up, we've got the Football Manager Club themselves, the Dons of AFC Wimbledon. Now, this is a very interesting club, being that 1, they are sponsored by FM. 2, they got relegated down to League 2 because I believe it was financial reasons or something, for some reason why they went down. People can clarify that for me down in the comments. I would surely appreciate it. But they are going to be playing at a new stadium, and it should be a very nice stadium from the looks of things. Now, they do have some pretty solid players, so they will probably be favorites to go back up to Sky Bet League 1. But with players that you bring in yourself, you can definitely ensure that they do. Now, they aren't going to have crazy backing like Salford City would, but you should have some financial backing that will help see you get back to the level of MK Dons and take them on and knock them off their pedestal, and potentially with AFC Wimbledon go all the way to the very top of the Premier League. Coming in at number 1, it is the Robins of Bristol City. So funnily enough, both Bristol teams are on this list. They definitely, in my opinion, deserve one of the teams to be in the Premier League. Bristol City are the closest to making that happen. They have been up and down with their finishes within the Sky Bet Championship, their highest being 4th in 07-08 in the Sky Bet Championship. So you need to definitely get them to that level of being able to make the playoffs and potentially either go up through playoffs or even automatic promotion by potentially winning the league. To make that happen, you definitely, in the Sky Bet Championship, will have the financial ability to make some pretty important signings. In my opinion, when you are in the Sky Bet Championship, getting that veteran presence definitely does help from time to time, but also making sure that you're signing the youngsters that can really make a difference early on, especially if you're able to sell them on to Premier League sides, make that money, reinvest it into the club, and make sure that you are able to be stable and get to the point of, all right, we are now ready to make that jump to the Premier League and be safe in doing so. So that about does it for today's video. If you guys did happen to enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing is 100% free, so why not hit that sub button? Please comment down below what is going to be your first save or even your beta save for FM23. I'd love to hear those down below. And once again, down in the description, there is a discount code for 29% off your pre-order for FM23 if you guys have not already pre-ordered it. It helps out FMBase, and it also helps you save money, so what's not to like about that? But until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.